Discuss here, Susan. Trump and Elon Musk, they're really focusing their ire right now on USAID, using inflammatory rhetoric to attack this agency, going so far as to call it a criminal organization. What, if any, evidence do they have? Are they pointing to anything specific?
We've seen no evidence that it's a criminal organization. President Trump called it staffed by radical lunatics. We've seen no evidence of that. And it's not as though this is a huge government agency rife with fraud and abuse. It's a relatively small government agency, but it's a ripe political target because foreign aid is never very popular politically with Americans. And that may be one reason they've gone after it first. It's hard to imagine this is the last government agency they'll go after, though. It seems to me this is probably just the beginning.
Well, and this is an agency with tentacles all around the world. Congresswoman, USAID has been described as America's ground game for decades, supported by both parties. And as Susan pointed out, it's a small piece of the bigger pie, just 1% of the federal budget. What are the consequences for the U.S. if this goes away?
Well, the big loser in all of this is going to be the United States of America. I mean, USAID provides funding for health services to non-government organizations that work on building and strengthening democracy. And I think what this means is that the United States loses its ears on the ground in the places that we most need. And so it's an element of the United States soft power, a way that we're able to make friends around the world. And that actually strengthens the United States national security. And what shocks me most is that the Congress of the United States is allowing the executive branch to stomp all over their constitutional authority to appropriate and to legislate. They've just given up their power as a co-equal branch of government to a department that's not really a department. DOGE is not existent except in the mind of Elon Musk and the work that Donald Trump is allowing him to do. It's not a real government department. It doesn't have any legislative authority, and Congress has to be the one to assert its authority in this instance. And if they don't, then the executive branch becomes all powerful.
Susan, what's happening in this one agency is really just a glimpse into a much broader campaign. NBC News spoke with nearly 24 federal workers who described a climate of fear, confusion, skepticism, and anger at federal agencies over the past 2 weeks. A number of civil servants described a sense that they were being actively tracked and monitored in a way that was foreign before Trump's return to power. One longtime manager even told NBC News this is psychological warfare. There are echoes of Musk's Twitter takeover into how this is all playing out. What more do you know about his role in all this and his working relationship with Trump right now?
Well, Elon Musk continues to be the president's best friend, someone who has been empowered through the president, not in a job that existed before, not in a job that required the check and balance of a Senate confirmation. And it is the strategy that we've seen Elon Musk use in his private businesses. This is no secret. It is an open effort to get federal workers to leave either because they have to come back to work 5 days a week in the office, to leave because they've been offered a kind of buyout. If they take it now, they'll get paid till September. There is no mystery here that there's an effort to make the federal government smaller and leaner and do fewer things. And it's using not a scalpel, really, it's using a hatchet on the federal government, Anna.
Yeah, Trump says he has a mandate to do this. He made a lot of promises on the campaign trail that he's now carrying out. And we're seeing virtually zero pushback from Republican lawmakers who control both chambers on the Hill. Congresswoman, are there any guardrails right now for the Trump administration? The courts obviously have a role in all of this, too. And what do you see as Democrats' role in this moment?
Well, first of all, I think Democrats really do have a role here. And part of it is to make it clear to the American people what's happening and why and the impact on their lives. I mean, in the case of USAID, it's jeopardizing United States national security. And that is going to be that all of us are going to feel the fallout from that. It's just a matter of time. Democrats, they have the ability to assert their authority. They can file suit as well to stop this, to put a stay on it, to allow the courts to play a role here. That's really what happened with the actions that OMB, the Office of Management and Budget, took last week. And I think Democrats have a role to play here in making sure that Congress can exert its authority under the Constitution. And only Democrats in Congress right now can do it, because we know that Republicans won't.